Hey everyone, how you doing today? It's me, David, coming to you from my whiskey den here in Central Ohio. Hope your day's going good. We've been having a day today, so it's nice to be able to kick back here in the whiskey den with a couple of bottled and bond offerings, and we're going to compare them. And you might wonder, why are we doing these two? But if you are a bourbon aficionado, I think you might have a good idea why I'm doing both these bourbons side by side. We've got Colonel E.H. Taylor Small Batch, Bottled and Bond Bourbon Whiskey, and we've got Benchmark Bonded Bourbon Whiskey. Now, and if you've noticed anything different, yes, I forgot my glasses. They're upstairs. Didn't want to run up and get them. I don't really need them for this. Anyway, these are the reason why I'm doing these is both are put out, distilled, manufactured, aged, whatever, by Buffalo Trace. Both utilize the Buffalo Trace mash bill number 1. Some chatter is that the Benchmark Bonded is like the junior version of the Colonel E.H. Taylor Small Batch Bottled and Bond. This is where I need my glasses. So to be bottled and bond, it needs to be aged for a minimum of 4 years. I doubt that Buffalo Trace ages the Taylor longer than 4 years because there's such a demand for it. It is a very nice, enjoyable bourbon. I don't know what's in each of these glasses. I have it, since this is a blind test, a blind tasting, I have them labeled on the bottom of the glass with some masking tape, and away we go on this. And I'm going to write down my results. I know in my little book what is in each glass. I just don't know what each glass has in it, if you know what I mean at this point. So, as usual, I'm going to work from my right to left. And we're going to see what this is. And I'm not going to, I probably will tell you which one I prefer. I know I will. But is this a good substitute for this? This is near impossible to find. This is readily available in many states. It's allocated here in Ohio, which is kind of dumb. But you go like Indiana, Kentucky, other state outside of here in Ohio, and it's plentiful to find. So let's just see what I feel, what I get out of each of these. So let's see. It smells like bourbon. It does smell, I don't know. It smells on the young side. It smells like it could be the Benchmark, a cheaper bourbon, but we'll see. I haven't taken my acclimation taste yet, so I guess that should be my acclimation. It's got some depth to it, spicy. It is smooth. It's nice. It's a good, solid tasting sipping bourbon. But we'll see compared to the other one here. Pretty much a hit of ethanol, but we'll see again what we get. Just a touch harsher, but comparable. Now, let's say both of these are aged for 4 years. I do have other bourbons from let's say the same not this distillery, the same distillery that are bottled and bond selections that taste totally different from each other. The JTS Brown, JW Dant are both out of Heaven Hill, as well as the Evan Williams bottled and bond. Both of those are bottled and bond selections. Taste wildly different. The 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 fact of the matter is that where the barrels are placed in the rick house, what rick house they go into, when they go into the rick houses, weather conditions, temperatures, even the floors of the rick houses all have an effect. So let me see one more time. This one's a little harsh. One's a bit smoother, a little more elegant. But that one's pretty close as well. A little a little more harsh up front, real ethanol bite, but then going down, there's some smoothness to it. So I'm going to say this is better than this one, 1 and 2. So let me just finish it off. It's a nice, smooth sipping bourbon. I'm going to assume that's the Taylor. And then this one. It's a little more harsh. It is pretty comparable. I'm getting more ethanol on it, a little bit more harshness. I have a feeling that the stuff that doesn't quite make the grade for the Taylor, which as far as I'm off the top of my head, is the only bottled and bond bourbon line that Buffalo Trace puts out. So you're getting maybe in here bourbon that doesn't quite make the cut for Taylor. But to me, very similar flavor profiles, similar tastes. We'll see what I get. So let's get the one that I thought was a little more harsh. Bourbon number 1 is Benchmark bonded. That means that this one was Taylor. So yeah, I will say this based on my palate, my taste, what I'm experiencing, and it's the way I'm tasting the bourbons. I would definitely say that this Benchmark bonded, is pretty much like Colonel Taylor Jr. Pretty darn good. I wouldn't try to pass this off as Colonel Taylor bourbon, but along the same vein as the Benchmark Full Proof is pretty much a where is it, Stag Junior and stuff again from what I would assume that does not make the grade to be Taylor, falls a little short in the taste department. They're bottling it as Benchmark. $20 for this bottle, relatively easy to find. I'm sure if you double oaked it for a week in some bourbon chips and a mason jar, you'll probably get a similar flavor profile to the Taylor. And that's a nice thing I'm appreciating about Buffalo Trace is that you have, you've got Blanton's, but then Junior Blanton's is ancient age, or in Kentucky, ancient age 90, which is a slightly lower proof. Stuff that maybe doesn't make the grade for Blanton's, but very similar flavor profile. Same thing with this. The benchmark just falls a little short from the Taylor, so on and so forth, And then I'm going to try some of these other expressions. We've got a 90 proof small batch, which I can match up against Buffalo Trace Bourbon and Eagle Rare. And I want to match all these up with each other and see what my favorite benchmark expression is. So there you go. This is pretty fun. Hope it wasn't too long-winded. Bottom line is, if you can't find Taylor and you find this is a little less refined tasting than the Taylor, but it will give you a generally decent flavor profile to what you would expect out of Taylor. This is a better bourbon. It's a bit more refined. It's a more sippable bourbon, but if you can't find it, that you might want to settle for that. So there you go. Even the colors were the same. So it's not like, this is, an inferior bourbon. It is decent. I didn't quite, it didn't live up to my expectations on my first taste, but it's kind of growing on me already. So there you go. Hope this was helpful to you. And until next time, it's me, David, coming to you from my whiskey den here in Central Ohio. I hope your next pour is your best pour. We'll catch you soon, and thanks for watching. Hey everyone, if you like what you see, please like and subscribe so you can be notified of future videos as they drop. Thanks for watching.